comes from the streets of McCabe Avenue. It's where I learned those Bible lessons. In fact, you'll notice on the left side, now, just so you all know, I'm looking at the same thing you're looking at. So when I do this, it's the same thing as you doing this. Y'all got that? Can you do the mirror thing with me? Okay, so when I do this, you're doing this, right? Got it. Okay, so if you'll know, I'm going to see if you guys got it. So you notice over there on the left side of the screen, y'all did it, right? What do you notice on the left side of the screen? You notice there's a vacant row home there with the number 731 on it. Now, there's no window in the top there. And the video actually talks about, the beginning of the video talks about me meeting a young man there when I lived there many years ago. He was 17 years old. His name was Tony Watson. He actually lived in that vacant row home 27 years ago. And that's where I first met him. I went down on those streets for the first time, only white kid in the neighborhood, went down those streets, and that's where I first met Tony Watson. And I was not treated kindly until I met Tony. And Tony and I instantly became friends. In fact, if you go to the next picture, this is a picture from his front porch. So that number 731, that's the front porch there, and you're looking off that's the look out from his front porch. You notice where it says 728 there. 27 years ago, that was a convenience store. It was open for business, and there was a lot of activity around that corner. So I used to spend hours on that porch with Tony and several of his other friends, and we used to spend a lot of time on that porch just having a good time talking to each other. And back then, the big thing they did, this is in the early 80s, it's like 83, 84, and back then rap music was really getting big. I mean, it was really getting its big start back in those days. And they used to, Tony and his buddies used to have the old style turntables they'd have on the porch, and they would, like, you know, they do their you want me to do that again? Yeah. they would create their own beats, and then they would freestyle these raps. I'm not kidding you, this crazy little white kid from Utah, man, that was the coolest dang thing I'd ever seen. I thought that was the coolest thing. So I said to the guy, he says, man, you got to teach me how to do that. They're like, hey, ain't no little white boy ever going to know how to rap. What are you talking about? I said, I'm telling you, I can do this stuff. I'm just going to sit back and watch you guys for a while, but I want you to teach me the process. And so here's what they would say. Said, well, everything starts with a beat. It all starts with a beat. Once we get the beat going, you get your mind into the rhythm of the beat. Once you get your mind into the rhythm of the beat, you start to think of words. And the words just start to come out, and then you start to think of rhymes to the words. And so I've watched them do this, and they create these songs out of midair. They create these songs over and over again, and it was just a really cool process to watch happen. So, I watched this for several days, and I kept telling them I could do it. Well, about third or fourth day after we were doing this, I showed up one day, and I was feeling confident. So I got on the stage. Now you got to keep in mind, it's in the morning hours. This corner is full of people, all kinds of activity going on, and they're doing what they're always doing with the turntables and stuff. I says, all right, you guys are going to get me a beat going, and here's what I'm going to do. If you don't think I can do this, I'm going to show you today I can do this. Not only am I going to do it, I ain't doing it from the porch. I'm going to go down on that corner in front of everybody. You get the volume up so I can hear it good. And I'm going to bust out a freestyle rhyme for everybody. I'm one single white boy, and I'm going down on that deal. You give me a good beat, and I'm going to make it happen. And they're like, you're crazy. I said, give me a beat going. So they started messing around. This is what they ended up with. They ended up with a beat like this. Now listen to it. This is kind of like early 80s style. This is old school, right? So this is kind of what they're doing. They're up there, they're doing this. And I'm on the porch. I'm like, I've been watching them for days, you know. So I get into the rhythm. Boys, you ready for this? I walked right down onto that porch, went right back onto that corner, looked right at those guys. Everybody's staring at me. And here's what I did. Sing the watch out, sing it back. Oh, we got the gospel president. 5. We used to brothers from the church on 105. So invite us in the pad and we can get the scoop, and then we can get to the church and we can get the blue. Let the blue friends throw it in the face. So come on to the gym and we will face it. All you understand, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get the beautiful land. I look up that porch, there's 4 black guys, their eyes are... From that day forward, I was accepted in the hood. Had a great time in those days. Lost track of Tony over the years. I don't know what happened to him. We've been trying to track him down. And it's interesting because Tony was a dear, dear friend. He taught me so much about the true meaning of life. He really did. I mean, he didn't have to accept me. He was the only one in that neighborhood that accepted me at first. And because he did, it opened the door for me to reach out so people could see, you know, because inside all of us, we're all pretty much the same. You just got to get past the skin. You got to get past the outer layers. We all have these things called a spirit inside of us, and we're all pretty much the same. We all have a desire to love and be loved. And that is the common bond that brings everybody together. Everybody in the world, regardless of where you come from, what walk of life, what color of skin, what side of the neighborhood you grew up on, everybody has a desire to love and be loved. And folks, that's what Send Out Cards is all about. It's the ability for us to take that message to the world. That when we have a prompting to reach out in kindness to somebody, we reach into ourselves, into that spirit, and we give a little bit of ourselves away every time you send a card to somebody. Every time you send a card of kindness to another human being, you're giving something of yourself. Find out who you are today, and then go out and give yourself away. That's what this day is about. Find out who you are. Now, I know a lot of you already know who you are. You got this inner voice that speaks to you. It tells you the genius that's in you. When you were a child, that inner voice spoke to you loud and clear. But as you grew up in a cynical, negative world, that voice got smaller and smaller. It started getting clouded out by all the negativity. And you forgot to listen to that inner voice in you that's telling you where to go. It's telling you what to do. It's telling you the genius that's in you. Remember when you were a kid, the vivid imagination that you had? You could accomplish anything. That's the real you. Unbelievable. That is the real you. We're going to tap back into that real you today in this seminar through all of the exercises that we do throughout the day. So you all ready to do that? Yeah! Okay. So one of the things we want to talk about in Send Out Cards, you're going to learn this today, the top rank in Send Out Cards is called what? Eagle. Called the Eagle. You're going to learn today why that is. Some special messaging behind that, great stories behind it, very inspirational. Hear all that. But the top rank in Send Out Cards is an Eagle. You come into this business and you have the chance to rank advance to several different ranks, and the highest rank is that of Eagle. We have several Eagles who are in the house today, and you're going to hear from them. So real excited about that. But you work up these ranks to the top rank called Eagle. Now there's a lot of reasons for that. Eagles are fascinating. Eagles are incredible out there in the wild. Eagles are majestic. They provide beauty and direction for all to follow. Eagles will hold you spellbound. If you ever have a chance to get close up to an eagle, they will lock their eyes onto your eyes, and they will literally hold you spellbound. Eagles are amazing. There's attributes in eagles that we can all learn from. The attributes of the eagles, if we pick up some attributes that an eagle has and apply them in our own life, we can ascend to our own greatness. So with that in mind, I thought to myself, you know, in memory of Tony Watson, anytime I get on stage, and I made this promise 27 years ago, I always knew I was going to end up doing something like this. Didn't know how or what. I knew I'd figure out I'd be doing something like this where I'd be speaking to people. But I made a promise when I left the streets of McCabe that whenever I figured out what that was going to be, that every time I took a stage, I would do rap music. And the reason that I would do rap music is to pay tribute to my friend Tony. Now, I'm very serious about that. I take that's straight from my heart. So now you know, everybody's wondering, why does this 48-year-old white CEO do this rap stuff? Well, now you know. And I don't ever apologize for that, because it's in memory of Tony Watson, who's teaching us today the Bible lesson of brother and sisterhood, the Bible lesson of bringing the family together, this human race together. That's what me doing rap music represents. So when we talk about eagles and the top rank of eagles, and I'm saying to myself, well, I need to teach some attributes of an eagle. What do you suppose I might do to teach attributes of an eagle? Maybe I'll write a rap song about eagles. See, one promise I'll make you, anytime I write a rap song, it's going to have a ton of positivity in it. Promise you. A ton of positivity, and there'll always be a message. So one of the first messages I wanted to give from the send out card stage was the attributes of an eagle. So one of the first things I did is I wrote a rap song about eagles. Now let me tell you how we write a rap song. The first thing is, as you know already, the first thing is you come up with a beat, you get yourself into the rhythm of the beat. The next thing you do is you usually write the hook to the song first. The hook is what comes in between each verse. The hook is what you all memorize. It's the hook or the melody of a song. So like when you're going down the road and you listen to the radio and the song comes on, it's usually the hook or the melody that you have memorized. So the hook is in the middle of each verse, and then you sing the verse. So you come up with the hook first, and then you go back and do the verses that put the hooks together. Does that make sense? So you always come up with the hook first or the melody first, then you come up with the verses behind it. So in doing the rap song about an eagle, what's the first thing I need? A beat. You gotta have a beat. Now, you guys are all going to learn this today. We're going to teach that there's rhythm to life. There is a rhythm to life. And if you get yourself into the rhythm, there's like a movie. A little premature there, brother. But it did sound cool, didn't it? There's a show out there. Somebody got their mojo back. What is that show? Stella got her groove back. That's what I'm talking about. Stella got her groove back. Today.
20 years ago. That was 20 years ago.
Stella got her groove back? Was that 20 years ago? Really?
20 years ago.
I don't get it. So, what? Stella got her groove back. Anyway, that's kind of what I'm talking about. Today's the day you're going to get your groove back. Y'all going to get your groove back today, right? Get your groove back. The way to do that is you got to get into the rhythm. Now, Dave, by the way, Super Dave Smith, would you stand up? This guy's been hanging with me since I was 8 years old. He and I have been best friends for 8 years old. He's a senior executive in Send Out Cards, one level away from Eagle. He and his wife, Lori. And he's gone to every Treat 'em Right seminar with me since the beginning. Almost 200 of these events now. He's been to every one, running the back stuff. And it's just incredible to have him. We ride Harley Davidson motorcycles together now. And we have lots of fun. I'm usually way out in front of him. It takes him a while to catch up. I usually have to pull a little weight for him. But it's okay. He's my brother. I love him. It's all good.
I never lost my groove.
Well, that's good. He never lost his groove, he said. He's always been a smart aleck, too. Just so you know. Yeah. Okay, so back to the eagle. So the eagle and the attributes of the eagle, going to write a rap song about the eagle. The first thing you need is what? Rhythm. You gotta have the beat. You gotta have the rhythm. And we need some new school. You know, you got the old school, and I just did this last rap. Let's get a little bit of new school feel. And I got to come up with a hook that is in the middle of each verse. So y'all ready to hear this?
Ready.
Okay, so I'm going to sing you the hook. Let's see if you understand any of the words. So we got to have the beat first, so here we go. Kind of new school. Does it feel good? Y'all feeling that? Eagle soul. They always focus on their goals. Fly high. It's how they live and how they roll. From the nest, they jump about to make it happen. Spread their wings and fly while the chickens clapping. The eagle soul. They always focus on their goals. Fly high. It's how they live and how they roll. From the nest, they jump about to make it happen. Spread their wings and fly while the chickens clapping. Got it? That's so funny. And the first time I do that, half the audience are going, huh? What are you saying? What are those words? Well, I'm going to teach those words right now. In fact, y'all have a book. You have this Treat 'em Right book. I'd like you to get that book, and I want you to open it up. We're going to go to page number 1 on the inside of the book. We're going to talk about the words that I just rapped for you. And we're going to talk about each word one at a time. We're going to talk about the power behind those words.